This is just a brief short video um, on the dangers of tribalism in the two Sudans, that is South Sudan and Sudan. Why the two countries? Because these two countries are connected, related in many ways, historically, culturally, and linguistically. It is not long ago that South Sudan seceded from Sudan, and one of the reasons was tribalism. So this is just a brief video on the dangers of tribalism in the two Sudan. First, the dictionary defines tribalism as behavior and attitudes that are based on a person's loyalty to a tribe or other social group. In other words, the tendency to say you belong to that group, you don't belong to our group, you're one of us, you're not one of us, purely based on ethnic identity and tribal identity. So what are the dangers of tribalism? One, insecurity between tribes. And that also means the presence of hostility and violence, which can lead to atrocities and genocide. These issues here have been affecting the two countries for a very, very long time. Perhaps before even 1956, the time Sudan gained independence from the colonizers. Another danger of tribalism is economic marginalization. We know most part of South Sudan and Sudan is not developed. Most part of two countries is virgin. Why? Because the power was concentrated, and that power did not see to it that the whole country, the north, the south, east, west, the center, needed to be developed. And so part of it was racism, tribalism, and that led to a country not moving forward, lack of education. Another danger of tribalism is exploitation and poverty. Of course, where people are living in tribal group, citizens in the country, in these two countries, because there's a high level of illiteracy. The citizens have not intermingled. They have not integrated, as would be the right word to use. So there's little movement between communities, and so therefore the few elites, the educated, the elite, another interest group, whether inside or outside the country, have exploited, and therefore high level of poverty in the two countries today. Of course, there will be economic backwardness. That's a self-evident. High rate of unemployment. A lot of people are idle because they don't know any better. There have been civil wars fought in the Sudan, and still today there is civil strife. So these are dangers that have plagued the two countries for a very long time. And until the citizens are educated and enlightened and made aware about the dangers of tribalism, as well as racism and other form of prejudice, discrimination, judgment, then it will be very difficult for the two countries to move forward. What this has done, that is, instead of citizens holding the governments accountable in terms of service delivery, as is not still not very much happening. Governments are not delivering services, right? Education and training teachers and health sectors, and training doctors, clean water, roads and infrastructure, electricity, power in general, technology, investment in technology, and availability of network. All of these are expected to be delivered by governments. And so citizens are busy here discriminating one another. Yet we should be focusing on this, on how to hold our governments accountable. So how do we uh, how do we how do we educate ourselves as citizens, inform ourselves, encourage ourselves to let go of practices like this behavior and attitude that do not help us as a people together. As Martin Luther King said that I don't want my children to live in a country where they are judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Right? That's all that is important. Doesn't matter where somebody is coming from. Anybody can be good or can be bad. So imagine in 2005 when the CPA was signed, if education alone, if investment was done in education, children that were born in 2005 are now 17 and 18 years old. They are finishing high school. Next year, they would be going to colleges and universities. They would be the majority in both countries today. That alone would have brought about huge transformation in both countries. So thank you. If you like this, there is an article here. There's a link. Please read that on francisdeng.com. Read on that and share it if you like it, because we have to help one another create awareness how to develop ourselves and to help build our nations move forward. Not just two countries, but also the African continent. So thank you, and we shall meet again.